hypotenuse, tan ratio, opposite over adjacent. How do we actually use those? So we have something like this now. We have a right angle triangle, a little bit dodgy, that's okay. I've got an angle here that is 60 degrees, and I've got this side is 15, and I want to work out what this side is here. Okay? So we're given a triangle now. This is what we're going to use trigonometric ratios for. We've got a triangle here. It says one of the angles is 60 degrees. This side here we need to figure out. We know the long side is 15. So the steps that we take when we do trigonometry like this is first of all identify which sides are which in this triangle. Now we may be given both the angles there for it, and that's okay. But we need to choose an angle that we're going to use and then name the sides from that. So let's say we use the 60. Okay, let's say we're going to use this one as our reference angle. From there, what side is the x? Adjacent. What side is the 15? Hypotenuse. Okay, and if we needed to, this is the opposite over here, but we don't need to worry about that. So from those sides, we know the hypotenuse, we want to know the adjacent. So which trig ratio do we use? Cos. Okay, so we just pick out the one that's got those two bits of information in it. And we set up an equation that includes those two. And we just set up the equation using these things here. So cos of an angle, in this case 60 degrees, is equal to the adjacent side, x, over the hypotenuse side, 15. So cos of an angle is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we just set that up as an equation. Cos 60 equals x over 15. Now we want to know the x. That's the whole idea. We want to figure out what x is. So what do I do to get x by itself on one side of the equation? So? Yeah, we're going to multiply. Okay? Everyone okay with that? So we get rid of this divided by 15. So I'm going to multiply by 15 to get rid of that. That cancels out on that side x. And on this side now we've got 15 cos 60 degrees. And we can type that into our calculator. And our calculator will tell us that x equals 7.5. Now we have one like this. Once again, our first step is to work out what is the reference angle and name our sides. So what side is this one? Someone hasn't answered questions yet. Hypotenuse. This one? Adjacent. And therefore opposite. Okay, alright. So once again, we've got adjacent hypotenuse. So what trig ratio is that? Cos. Again, cosine again. That's great. So we're going to say cos of 40 degrees equals adjacent 12 over hypotenuse y. Now, if we need to work out the y, once again, like we had before with the x, we need to get the letter, the unknown side, by itself on one side of the equation. How am I going to do that? Okay. Let me work it through it. So, just like we did before, when we want to get rid of something that is the denominator. Now, at the moment we don't want to get rid of the y, but we do want to get rid of it from the denominator. It's no good to us in the denominator. We don't like it there. We need to get it into the top line of a fraction, into the numerator, or just by itself. And so to get rid of something from the denominator, what do? We multiply. Okay, that's what we do. We want to say, look, I don't want this thing there down the bottom line anymore. Let's get rid of it. So we multiply. So in this case, it's going to be multiplied by y, because that's what's there. So we're going to do that on both sides of the equation. Just like we always do with equations, we do something to one side, we do it to the other, to keep it equal. And so that means now, those two y's cancel out, so all I've got left now is 12. Over here though, I've got y times cos 40 degrees. Okay? Y times cos 40 degrees. Now, if I started with this, how do I get the y by itself? Are we okay with that now? What do we do to get the y by itself? Divide by what? Well, divide by 12 is not going to change what's with the y. I need to divide by what is multiplied with the y. And so that's the cos 40. So I'm going to divide, that's right, but we're divided by the cos 40. So I'm going to divide both sides by cos 40. And when I do that, the cos 40s cancel out on the left, and I've just got y left. And I've now on this side got 12 over cos 40 degrees. Okay, so they're the two steps that I do, the two steps algebraically that I do to get the y by itself. Now what you might notice, is that from this first line, just looking at the blue stuff, from this first line to this third line, what's changed? What's happened? From this first line to this line, what's happened? Yeah, so the y and the cos 40 have swapped. Now you may remember that as a process step. That in this case here, where you've got cos, or any trig thing over here, sine, cos or tan, and the letter you want to figure out is in the bottom line of the fraction, you swap the letter and the sine, cos or tan bit, and that's what you need to figure out. Okay? So you may just remember that this is a step here to swap those two, and you get that correct step. So even if you don't remember, and it'd be really good if you do, because there'll be times where you need to do this in algebraic solving equations, but that may be an easy thing for you to remember. When you've got the sine, cos or tan equals a number over a letter, then you swap the letter with the sine, cos or tan, and you end up with that. So then we just type that in the calculator. So type that in now. What you need to remember, there's a little trick with our calculators. You must close the brackets on the trig part at the bottom of the fraction, or it will not work. So before, when you multiplied a number by the trig, you didn't need to close the brackets. The calculator could still deal with that. But when it's a fraction, you must have the brackets closed.